have the honesty, the intellectual and the political honesty to keep on raising these questions. And that's why I decided to be on this serious note with you here today. That's one of the reasons why I decided to receive you here today. Because I think what you're doing, the debate you're conducting, the projects you're conducting, are an important reminder to all those who carry this broad responsibility that the story has not yet been written in an acceptable way. There are still questions to be answered and pathways to be actually described. So, if you want to make a comment on what I've said, I'm very happy to listen to this. I know I didn't invite you to a seminar, so you can just enjoy yourself and have a reception. But please also feel free to move around the house. And it carries the spirit of this history, which I hinted to you before. Upstairs, we have the writing desk of the headmaster of the school in the first decades of the 19th century. And we are every day reminded of this road that the country had traveled in. And when he was using that writing desk and the students were here, 20 or 30 of them, they were not big in number, Iceland had no political and economic rights because the Danish king had absolute power in all Icelandic affairs, so there was no democratic right, economic right, social right of the people. And that is another part of the story which describes that you can move forward. And if you think Iceland was in an advantageous position, you should remember that at that time there was no city, there was no town in this country. Reykjavik, the tiny village with poor houses, was the biggest with 300 people. The rest of the population, about 50,000, lived in isolated farms without electricity, without any roads, not one road. Only communicating on foot, on horses, and occasionally on boats. In a country the size of England, because that's the geographical size of England. So just imagine 50,000 people, less than 200 years ago, spread around England, at the lowest level of economic daily life that you would find in Europe at that time, as described by the visitor, in turf houses, living more like, I wouldn't say animals, but basically that's what it is, houses built of stone and turf. And having moved forward in those times to what we are today. And that to me is a reminder that challenges, whether they are poverty or economic oppression or whatever it is, they can be overcome. And this place is therefore in many ways an inspiring location because it tells you the story of the school and the beginning of the independence campaign and how it in, as I say, relatively short time, the lifespan of two individuals led to where we are today, having survived one of the deepest financial crises of our times and being able to receive you here and hopefully give you some inspiration for your work. So with those words, I welcome you again. We have a saying in Icelandic, be as if you are in your own home. So please feel free to move around the residence and smell the history and the spirit of the place. But let me honor your work and welcome you again and wish you all the best in your very difficult, very challenging